Hi, let me ask you a question. Is employee engagement important for your organization? And do you have a current initiative to improve employee engagement in your organization? Hi, I'm Wally Hauck, and I help leaders to improve employee engagement with every interaction. And a friend of mine stopped by the other day and he asked me, hey, what is it I can tell my CEO to help influence the start of an employee engagement improvement initiative in my organization? And I said, well, there's lots of different studies that show a direct connection between employee engagement improvement and financial improvement. However, that's not the major reason for me. The major reason is there's two global trends right now that are influencing the need for employee engagement more than ever before. And if your competitor adopts to these first, you may be at a disadvantage. Here are the two trends. Number one, organizations must become much more like social networks or self-organizing systems. Well, what are social networks? Well, you know what they are. Their examples are Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. These have grown tremendously. And why? Because they have certain characteristics which organizations can adapt to. And there's three major ones that I'd like to bring to your attention. Number one, networks are communities of people who naturally are attracted to join and be with each other. Why? Because they share certain common themes such as the same vision, purpose, interests, priorities, and values. In order to grow and perform more like these organizations, these social networks, your organization must clarify these items and communicate them professionally. And if you do so, you will align yourself with this new model. Number two characteristic is social networks are voluntary. They're also chaotic, complex, self-organizing, and therefore innovative. They respond to external changes in the environment faster than any other types of organizations. People opt into these organizations, and so they really generate natural employee engagement. They're diverse, they're high change, and they naturally allow greater flexibility, mostly in the form of work hours, mobility, work-life balance, and collaboration. Now, many leaders struggle with creating these types of environments. Why? Because they require a much higher level of trust. Number three, members of networks have tremendous influence because they're connected to communities and connected to people within those communities that can either promote or discourage a product or service for an organization. That's why Pepsi has 42 different drink brands that they manage, because they are customizing these drinks specifically to these communities. And this applies to employees now as well. So organizations must customize and personalize their products and services in order to influence their employees. What's the second major trend? Number two, it's a great, tremendous need for attracting and retaining talent with the right skills. There's an increase in the need for talent. Why? Because the baby boomers are aging and retiring quickly. But more than that, more skills or different skills are needed for the talent that you want to attract. Skills like problem solving, being a facilitator, not a manager, creating cooperation with every interaction, the ability to create trust with anyone and everyone, even if you don't like them, the ability to create synergy in teams and innovation, and of course process improvement and learning. This is why the current performance appraisal process and the pay-for-performance tools that most managers use, they are now obsolete because they don't fit this new network model, and because a leader's control is now trumped by the influence that the network has. So that means that leaders must depend more on leadership skills of influencing and employee engagement more than ever before. So in summary, there's two major trends. Employees must be treated more like volunteers to opt into the organization, and they're demanding. They really require now and demand customized services and personalized services in order to keep them opt-in. Leaders who can clearly communicate these common interests, vision, values, and meaning and purpose of an organization will be much more successful And instead of searching for raw talent and attempting to attract them with extrinsic motivations or bonuses, the modern leader is able to create the correct high trust environment that will naturally attract the people with the skills. If you want more information about this, please look at my website at wallyhauck.com. That's WALLYHAUCK.com. Or check out my new book on Amazon, The Art of Leading. Thanks for listening.